Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
And I know you have done a lot of research in global customer relationships and customer relationship management. And my question to you was that what are these emerging technological trends you see which can help companies to further enhance their global customer relationship management?
Mm-hmm. Well, I see basically two emerging technology trends in global customer engagement and one consequence. So those two trends are first beacon technology. So beacon technology are low-powered transmitters equipped with Bluetooth, low energy, and they really give companies the possibility to deliver proximity-based content-related messages. And that's quite fascinating for companies because those technologies are ideal for detecting smartphones, for instance, in a store, indoors, and then to target those customers with offers, with sales promotions. And so this really gives the companies the possibility to interact in the offline world with an online-based beacon technology.
Okay.
Well, and this technological innovation has been introduced last year by Apple at the Worldwide Developers Conference when they introduced iOS 7. And all these beacons are transmitters and receivers are already built in with all the iOS devices. So this has already been an issue. And companies like, for instance, American Eagle Outfitters, Universal Music, Apple, Macy's, they already use this technology. And this will be a huge change of engaging customers.
Mm-hmm. And you see this beacon technology kind of being leveraged by companies and being integrated in their overall global database, or have you seen any evidence of how they are using this technology?
I mean, the most important thing is that they can identify customers wearing their smartphones, and then, of course, they get all the data that they have of their customers stored in their customer relationship management database. Right. And what they then can do is that they can really, issue personalized offers to those customers coming into the store, just running in front of the stores across the street. So this is a kind of a totally new approach of acquiring customers or of retaining customers and building up loyal relationships with those customers.
And do you see from a customer perspective, what do customers feel? Is there a sense that they are willing to share that information, or do they feel their privacy is being intruded?
So this is one thing that hinders adoption of this beacon technology. I agree to that. So these are definitely data privacy issues. So because nowadays customers are not so willing to share all their data that they have. So this is one issue. And another issue is that there are several layers of security. So they need to put on Bluetooth. Then what they need to do is also that they have to download the app for location-based services, and they have to opt in that they can get those personalized messages. So there are some issues of data privacy and also technology issues that makes it more difficult for customers to adapt to that technology. But this also highlights the consequence of thinking about data privacy issues of customers in very detail. And the data privacy, the Consumer Privacy Bill of Rights in the United States and the Data Protection Acts in the European Union, they are first steps into the right direction so that the data that the consumer issues to the company stays in the property of the consumer.
And given the EU directives, specifically in the area of data privacy, I think Europe is far much more ahead than the US in those terms. Mm-hmm. Do you see there being, amongst the European customers, more sense that their privacy is being protected, or do the European consumers still feel susceptible to these new emerging technologies?
I think the European customers are very, very sensitive regarding those things. But nevertheless, what happens in other parts of the world, like in Asia or in the United States, is something that lays some ground for innovation, and sooner or later this will also come to Europe. And if those data privacy acts will really care for the consumers and find ways how companies can monetize, of course, the data, but also to give the consumers the right on their data, then this will be an innovation that will diffuse through the overall society.
And that's an excellent point, to actually empower the the user also, so that they don't feel that they are being intruded or
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And then I've identified also a second emerging tech trend in consumer engagement, and this is wearable computing, of course, because this is a very, very interesting topic nowadays with all those smart watches, all the glasses, all the bracelets that are nowadays on the market. And I think this is one of the emerging trends again, where again, companies can interact with consumers in a very direct way and also grab data of those consumers and make it a value for those companies. Mm-hmm. And what I personally think is that this is not an issue so much of the B2C market. This is, of course, very trendy nowadays to wear a smartwatch as an end consumer, but I think it's more in the field of the B2B environment where it really delivers a value to companies. So, for instance, imagine a worker that works in a harsh environment. So that worker must not put off his gloves, for example, to hack in some data into a computer or just remember some information and then go outside, step outside into a more protected environment to put down the data. But this is all be done by the wearable computing. So I think all these applications that we will see in the near future comes from the B2B environment and then will be translated into the usage of the B2C environment.
Excellent point, yes. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for these great insights.
Thank you.